All right, so number 22. Now we have a sphere. And be careful on these with the pictures with circles. Anything that has to do circular, cone, cylinder, sphere. None of the formulas ask you for a diameter. None of them. But sometimes that's what you're given. So on this one, all the way across is a diameter is 18. So the radius going halfway would be half of that. So the radius then would be 9 centimeters. Be very careful of that on the test. All right, so backing up a step, we have a sphere. And you can't do lateral area of a sphere because if you think about it, a ball, if I say the sides of the ball, what part am I talking about? It doesn't have a base. So you can only do the total surface area when dealing with a sphere. So S equals 4 pi times the radius squared. So all you have to do for a sphere is figure out what the radius is. So make sure you don't use the diameter, because if you use the diameter, it's going to be wrong. So this is 4 pi 9 squared. 9 squared is 81, so this is 4 pi times 81. And then 81 times 4 is 324. So we have 324 pi centimeters squared would be in terms of pi. Or as a decimal, it would be 1017.88 centimeters squared. All right, so that was a sphere. And then number 23. All right, so we have a prism again. We're back to a prism. We can see that the base is the trapezoid. We have 2 trapezoids and 4 rectangles. So the rectangles are the sides and the trapezoids are the bases. So we have a trapezoidal prism. So to find the lateral area of a prism, look at our formula sheet. That is HP. H is the height of the prism. So the height of the prism is the height that connects the distance between the 2 bases. So connects one base to the other. So the height of the prism is 10 centimeters. And then we need the perimeter of the base. Perimeter of the base is going around the base. So I'm going to look at this one over here. So I have a 6. I have a 4. I know that this part here is 3. And since these two are the same, I know that this one over here is 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8. 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 6 gives me 17. So the perimeter is 17 centimeters. Perimeter of the base. So I have 10 times 17, so L equals 170. These are centimeters, and I'm talking about area, so I have centimeters squared. And that's the lateral surface area. The area of the sides. And then, for total surface area, it is the lateral area plus the area of the 2 bases. So 2, capital B is area of the base. So I have 170 for the lateral surface area plus 2 times Well, I need to figure out what the area of the base is. Oh man, messed that up. All right, that's the surface area. So what is the area of the base? Well, the shape of the base is a trapezoid. So I need the area of a trapezoid. And I have those formulas on the board. Area of a trapezoid is 1/2 of the height times B1 plus B2. So the sum of the bases. And now when I'm talking about the height and the bases, I'm zooming in my focus to just looking at the trapezoid. Okay? So I'm just looking at the trapezoid. So the height of the trapezoid is perpendicular to the bases. So there it is right here. It makes a right angle with the bases. That is the height of the trapezoid, 3.7. And the sum of the bases, well, one of them is 3. And the one on the top, since it says 6 over here, then I know that this is also 6. So 3 plus 6 gives me 9. We have 9 times 3.7 gives me 33.3. And then I divide it by 2. So the area of the base is 16.65. And now I can put in calculate this part. I'm stuck. Well, let me change my colors. Oh well. Okay. Different one. Nope. So S equals 170 plus 2 times 16.65 is 33.3. So I have 170 plus 33.3 is 203.3. And these are centimeters squared. All right, so that is the trapezoidal prism. Number 24. We have a cylinder. Again, this line goes all the way across the circle. So that's the diameter. So that means that the radius is half of that. It's 3. So any of the problems with the circle, make sure you're dealing with the radius, not the diameter. Cylinder, we want the lateral area of a cylinder. That is 2 pi times the radius times the height of the cylinder. Well, already established the radius is 3. The height of the cylinder is the distance between the two bases, between the two circles. So the h is 11. So we have 2 pi 3 times 11. 3 times 11 is 33. 33 times 2 gives me 66. So this is 66 pi. And these are inches squared. Or as a decimal, the surface lateral area would be 207.3 inches squared. Your test will ask for your answers in both formats, in terms of pi and as a decimal. So just make sure you're answering the correct way. And then we need the total surface area. So the total surface area of the cylinder is the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base, because there's 2 bases, there's 2 circles. So 2 times pi r squared. I know L is 207.3 plus 2 times pi radius squared, and I know the radius. The radius, again, is 3. So I have, oh wait, I wanted to do this in terms of pi, not 207.3. 66 pi. 66 pi plus 2 pi times 9. 9 times 2 is 18, so 18 pi. So I have 66 pi plus 18 pi. So that is 84 pi inches squared. Or as a decimal, the total surface area is 263.893, so 0.89 inches squared. All right, so that's all of the problems that have calculations. And now I'm going to go over the last 3 that are a little different, and I know they're kind of hard to really figure out, so I think I came up with a way that will help you. So, because 25 is different than 27 and 26 and 27. I lost it. Where'd it go? There we go. Do it again. All right. This doesn't want me to do this problem. Okay, if the radius of a cone is doubled, how many times larger is its lateral area? So first figure out what the formula is. So it tells you a cone and its lateral area. So I know I need to look at the formula for a lateral area of a cone, which is L equals pi RL. And then it says if the radius is doubled. Well, doubled means times 2. So if I take the radius and I say times 2, how many times larger is its lateral area? Well, this is an equation, right? And the deal with equations, like when you solve an equation for a missing variable, if you do something to one side of the equal sign, you have to do the same thing to the other side to keep it equal, right? Otherwise it's not equal. Like right now, that's not equal. So how would we make it equal? If we multiply the right side times 2, that means I have to multiply the left side times 2 to keep it equal. So I need to do times 2. All right, so now it's equal, and I've done everything it said to do. How many times larger is the new area? Well, L, the area, was multiplied by 2. So it's 2 times larger. because I didn't change everything. I only changed one piece. So the area is now 2 times larger. But then if we look at number 27, it says first figure out which formula you're going to use. This is a cylinder and lateral area. So L of a cylinder is 2 pi RH. All right, so that's the formula I'm looking at. The radius and height of a cylinder are multiplied by 4. So the radius is times 4 and the height is times 4. So if I need to keep this balanced and equal, what do I have to multiply the left side by? 4? No, that wouldn't work. That's not enough, right? It's not. If I just said times 4, that's not balanced. I have to say times 4 times 4, right? 4 times 4 is 16, so I could write it like this, or I could just say times 16. So however you change it on one side, you have to change it on the other side as well. So what is the effect on the lateral area? It's 16 times bigger. All right, so I have one more. And this one's a little different too. If the radius of a sphere is doubled, how many times larger is its surface area? So we're talking about total surface area and a sphere. Okay, so we have a sphere. Surface area is 4 pi r squared. And the radius is doubled. Doubled is times 2. So I find the radius and I say times 2. But this one's different because this isn't just the radius, it's the radius squared. So instead, so I can't just do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly change the way this looks. S equals 4 pi radius radius. Because isn't that what radius squared means? It means radius times radius. So there's 2 of them. So this one's a little tricky. So if the radius is doubled, so okay, so here's a radius. I'm going to double it. But there's another radius. And it said the radius is doubled, so, and this is a radius, so times 2. So on the right side of the equation, I multiplied, well, 2 times 2 is 4. So I multiplied times 4 on the right side. So that means on the left side, I have to also multiply times 4 to keep it equal. So what's the effect on the surface area? Surface area is 4 times larger. So you're changing it to keep the equation equal on both sides, just like when you solve an equation.